a man driven by a burning, almost reckless ambition to reclaim his fading fame. He is a brilliant but arrogant tactician, a celebrity general in a world that no longer needs his kind of heroism. He views the Native American tribes not as a formidable force, but as a stepping stone to his political aspirations. A solitary and deeply spiritual man, his reputation as a fearless warrior is spoken in hushed, reverent tones. He is a leader who commands loyalty not through fear, but through his unassuming courage and strategic brilliance. He fights not for glory, but for the survival of his people and their way of life. A holy man and visionary leader, he is the spiritual heart of the resistance. He understands the fight is not just about territory, but a cosmic struggle for the soul of his nation. He is a strategist who has unified the tribes under a common spiritual purpose. June 25, 1876. The sun has not yet risen over the Greasy Grass, but a vision has already been granted. Sitting Bull has seen them. Soldiers. Not just any soldiers, but blue-coated ones, falling into his camp like grasshoppers from the sky. It is a portent of a great victory, a day long prophesied. History knows this man as the hero of the Civil War, a golden boy hungry for one last victory. But here, on this final frontier, he is a man playing his last desperate gambit. The gold in the Black Hills had shattered the peace, and Custer knew he needed a decisive blow against the hostiles.
They come to steal our land, to break our spirits. But we are the Lakota, the Cheyenne, the Arapaho. They have come to take everything. Our reservations grow smaller every day. But we are warriors, and we will show the strength of these lands are ours. The white man seeks to take them. We must stand together, Lakota, Cheyenne, and Arapaho, or fall divided.
Major Reno, take the southern route. Captain Benteen, ride west. I shall strike the heart of the village from the north.
He divides his regiment. He sends Major Reno to attack from the south, Captain Benteen to the west, and keeps the most powerful force for himself.
Form line, do not break!
Custer had a fatal blind spot. He underestimated his enemy's intelligence, their resolve, and their numbers. He never saw the real trap. His own ego had built it, surrounding him with a ring of steel and courage that far outstripped his own. Custer's famous luck had run out. His men were engulfed, surrounded by a sea of enraged warriors fighting for their families and their homeland. Crazy Horse, ever the strategist, orchestrated the annihilation, denying Custer any chance for a heroic, organized last stand.
Stand with me! There are too many! Fight them to the end! Keep firing! Make them firing! For every inch!
The man who had sought glory his entire life was about to find it in the most brutal way imaginable. The reality of his miscalculation was finally crashing down upon him. The golden boy of the Union Army was about to become a martyr, though not of the kind he had ever envisioned.
In that split second, he did not see a demon. He saw only a lost soul.
In that split second, I saw not a demon, but a man. He sees the fear.
Dead. He is dead.
Custer falls. It is not a theatrical Hollywood death. It is a silent collapse.
I did what I had to do.
To the victors, the spoils. For the young boy watching, it was a lesson in the brutal price of resistance, the agony of winning a battle that would cost them everything in the end. The village of the Lakota and Cheyenne, victorious, now had to flee. They had won a great battle, But they knew it would only bring the wrath of the Bluecoats down upon them in even greater numbers. This was not a victory for them. It was a death sentence delayed. For their part, Reno and Benteen, whom Custer had dismissed as cowards, would survive the night. They were living proof of Custer's greatest mistake, his complete, arrogant self-reliance. The victory at the Greasy Grass claimed the lives of 268 American soldiers, but it also marked the beginning of the end for a free way of life for the Plains Indians. It was a win that cost them everything. The Battle of Little Bighorn became a rallying cry. The American public, furious and grieving, would transform the arrogant general into a martyr. Libby Custer would spend the next 50 years of her life shaping the legacy, turning her husband's greatest failure into his greatest triumph.
The peaceful plains of Montana, a year later. They gaze at the white stone markers.
The defeat did not stop the relentless march of progress. Within a few years, the Lakota and Cheyenne were forced onto reservations. The victory at the Greasy Grass was a fading memory, a whisper on the wind that would soon be drowned out by the sound of railroad tracks and the iron will of a nation set on manifest destiny. Today, the battlefield is a place of remembrance for both sides. The conflict is no longer seen as a simple last stand, but as a complex tragedy, a clash of two worlds that could not coexist. The ghosts of the brave men who fought here, on both sides, are not just figures of history, but echoes of a painful, shared legacy. The Battle of the Little Bighorn was not the end, but a part of a much larger, bloodier story. It was a fight for land, for identity, and for the very soul of a continent. And in the end, the only true victors were the hills themselves, silent witnesses to the courage, the folly, and the unending cost of history.